Hello everyone, I welcome you all on this YouTube channel, the UPSC TV by RS, and here I am back with yet another video with respect to your The Hindu newspaper for public administration optional. So as you know that we are covering the newspaper called The Hindu on the daily basis for your public administration optional. So here we are going to cover The Hindu dated 3rd of July 2020. So today we are going to talk about this newspaper. So basically you can subscribe to this YouTube channel if you are new to this channel, and don't forget to watch the previous videos because we are covering the Hindu and we are linking the articles with your public administration optional for UPSC CSE. Okay, so let's begin with today's articles that are important for the newspaper for the public administration optional. So let me bring the articles over here on your screen. You will be able to see the articles in a little while. Okay, so here the first article that you have to cover, again we are covering these things again and again. Okay, so if you look at the previous videos, you will get that yesterday also we have covered the things that what is the need with respect to, you can say, when it comes to the custodial death. Okay, we have covered the data point as well some days back, and some days back we have covered the things like committees as well. Okay, so there is nothing new. All these things that are covered in today's article are something जो हमने पहले ही cover कर लिया है. We are already done with these things. For example, 273rd Law Commission report, this is given over here. So 273rd Law Commission report is given over here, and we have covered this thing in one of the article only. Okay, so in the form of analysis we have covered this thing. Similarly, you need to remember that in 2010 there was the prevention of torture bill. Okay, so that particular bill was also in the news, but it lapsed after the, you can say, after certain time period. Okay, it was passed in both the houses, but it was lapsed. And apart from that, Supreme Court in one of the another judgment, Raghuveer Singh versus State of Haryana, it says directly that this torture is something that is deeply disturbing, and all these things are there. Okay, so basically yesterday also we have covered two judgment, Jogender Singh versus Jogender Singh judgment, and another was DK Basu judgment. But in those judgments we are talking in a general perspective, means in a perspective of human right violation. We have covered this Prakash Singh judgment as well, but that judgment is also something that is related to police reform, not directly related to, you can say, custodial death or custodial violence or something like that. But this judgment, Raghuveer Singh versus State of Haryana 1980, this judgment is with respect to custodial violence. I hope you are getting this thing. Try to segregate this kind of analysis, because what happen is that when it comes to examination you have to segregate like this. Okay, you have to make 1 point with respect to general police reform, 1 point with respect to custodial violence, 1 point with respect to legislature. You might transform your answer into the executive, legislative and judicial action. Then you can talk about these judgments in 1 point, and in the legislature you can talk about prevention of this you can say prevention of torture bill, and in case of executive you can talk about, you can say, something short of law commission or something like that. Okay, in terms of committees you can talk about 273rd Law Commission, you can talk about Malimat committee which says right to life and other things needs to be codified. Okay, so this is how you have to analyze the things. Okay, I am not here to simply give you the kind of spoon feeding that okay these are the things, kindly remember. No, I am just providing you the things on the daily basis, and try to grasp and try to absorb these things on the daily basis. Okay, I hope you are getting. So whenever so here you have to remember Raghuveer Singh. Okay, so you have to remember this Raghuveer Singh versus State of Haryana, and the important thing that is there is that this judgment was in 1980, and if you look at the idea of this United Nations Convention Against Torture, India signed this thing in 1997. So at international level also torture is something that is there. In national level, judiciary also highlighted this thing. In other cases also Article 21 and all these things are being highlighted. And apart from that, if you look at the official position, you can use this point in order to show the dilemma, official you can say position with respect to torture. So if you look at the statement quoted by this attorney, the former Attorney General of India in 2017 in United Nations Human Rights Council. So he says this thing that he basically invoked ideas of Gandhi and Buddha, and stating that in India believes in peace, non-violence and uphold human dignity, and we do not have all these nitty-gritties of violence or something like that. But if you look at the data, you will find that things are not that simple. Okay, so try to analyze the things from different perspective and use these things as a fodder point. Okay, I am not covering again, because in previous 3 days we are covering this article on these kind of things on the daily basis. I am just giving you the idea that how can you make the notes of this thing by incorporating the ideas that you have already aware of. Okay, so I hope you are getting. So this is all about this thing. ठीक है. सो फॉर हिंदी मीडियम लेट मी टेल इन हिंदी एज वेल, आपको कुछ नहीं करना, जो हमने कल आर्टिकल पढ़ा था उसी में ये चीज़ें भी लिख लेना कि हाँ अगर सिर्फ टॉर्चर की बात आए तो रघुवीर सिंह वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ हरियाणा, नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट एट लार्ज, बट रिमेंबर रघुवीर सिंह केस 1980. सो इन दैट सुप्रीम कोर्ट हाईलाइटेड द custodial death and all these things, but implicitly you can mention the previous judgment like Jogendra Singh versus and all those things. Police reform is something that is important, and here writer is linking this thing with the Black Lives Matter. Okay, so we have already covered these things in the form of analysis, and here today the writer is basically the retired Chief Justice of Delhi and Madras High Court, so he is basically reiterating those things, एंड वी आर ऑलरेडी बेसिकली डन विद दीज थिंग्स. ठीक है, तो हमने पहले ही पढ़ लिया, बस आप थोड़े से नोट्स में ये जजमेंट्स वगैरह एक दो नई इनकॉर्पोरेट कर सकते हैं. ओके, सो दिस इज़ ऑल अबाउट दिस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल, एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वी डू नॉट हैव मच आर्टिकल्स इन टुडेज द हिंदू. one article is also there with respect to NHRC, you have to cover that as well. so NHRC के रेस्पेक्ट में भी एक आर्टिकल है, let me just reach out there. One article is with respect to, you need to remember, you need to read this article with respect to privatization. so insofar as the privatization is concerned, articles are going on, so try to understand this thing. so privatization is something that we have covered in the previous lessons, and I will cover it again in some days later. Okay, so now let me give you another article that you need to read. The another thing is give custodial death details, so NHRC to J&K. so here you need to be thorough with the NHRC, because NHRC is something that is given in your paper 2, significant issues of administration in India, significant issues in Indian administration, the 14th chapter of paper 2 of public administration optional. so in that NHRC is directly given, and even in this 2019 only we have the NHRC amendment. Okay, so please try to understand that you have to cover NHRC, you have to cover the NHRC amendment and all these things. Okay, so you have to read this thing, so go through it and try to read the things with respect to NHRC. Okay, so this is all about this article. Insofar as the privatization thing is concerned, we will cover it, we have covered already on different platforms like Unacademy free platform, or for that matter in the analysis of September October 2019 when I was doing this analysis. so either you can search for it, or I will cover it in upcoming days. Okay, so this is all about today's article analysis. I hope you are getting the benefit out of this course, and if you want to get the PDF of these things, you can subscribe, you can join me at Telegram. At Telegram there is a channel called Pubedpedia Official. You can search at Telegram Pubedpedia Official, and you can also join the group by joining the link given below. Okay, so you can join it. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, review and recommend, or you can say like and subscribe the video. Okay, so this is it for the day. Stay safe, stay home, bye bye, take care.